Good morning. So I just made my lemon water. I want to make a video about lemon water and how beautifully amazing it is for you. Lemon water allows your liver to cleanse first thing in the morning, so it's really good to add to your morning routine. Right now I'm gonna make my baby breakfast, and I want to show you guys what I usually do for breakfast. It's really simple and it's really good for baby's brain and their health and just energy overall. First thing I do is wymans wild blueberries, because wild blueberries are amazing for brain health. It's literally like brain food. So I just pour a little bit out on this plate. I love these plates. These are from Elk & Friends. They come with like a separate silicone sleeve so you can put it on, and then it's got 3 suction cups so they can't pull it off of their tray, which is awesome. And then the second thing that I add to his breakfast is strawberries. I always make sure that the strawberries are organic. All of our fruit is organic besides these wild blueberries, because it's really hard to find organic wild blueberries, but this brand Wymans doesn't do GMO. They literally says we ensure our wild blueberries and all of our fruit are always non-GMO, so that's why to me these are okay. But like I said, it's also really hard to find organic wild blueberries. When it's organic, it can't be GMO, and GMO means genetically modified. Is that genetically modified organism, I think? But what that means is in a lab, they basically bioengineer a seed that can withstand super heavy levels of pesticides and herbicides and crop sprays, so that it's easier for farmers to crop all of the things that they need to crop, but also be able to spray herbicides and pesticides on them, cause heavy metals and toxins in our bodies. Because before, if they were to spray all of these super harsh chemicals on a non-GMO product, it was killing all of their crops because they couldn't stand the I think it's like it's basically Roundup is what it is, and Roundup's really, really bad for our health. If you were to spray Roundup on your plant outside in your garden, that's gonna die, right? Because it's usually a non-GMO product. Organic fruit, it has to be non-GMO, so basically that's why, is you'll have cleaner fruit and stuff. So when I get my groceries, I always wash everything with just like a mild dish soap. I use either Attitude or 7th Generation. When I do his strawberries, I love to put maple syrup on them, because maple syrup is a brain food as well, and it's got to be pure maple syrup. I love maple syrup. It's like honey. Maple syrup comes from a tree. Did you know that? Actually, my husband makes maple syrup when we have maple trees. So right now we don't have any maple trees, but maple syrup comes from a tree. And I didn't know that until a couple years ago, because they put high fructose corn syrup and like all these things in maple syrup. So to me, it would make sense that it wouldn't be a natural phenomena, but it is. Basically, you get a maple tree and you remove the sap in the winter months, because the sap is like basically the blood of the tree. And when the trees get really cold at night, obviously they push sap through the tree to warm themselves up and keep warm. And then you tap the tree and basically funnel out sap, and then you put your sap on a stove and heat it up, and basically turns to maple syrup. Obviously it's a way bigger in-depth process than that, but that's the gist of it. I do about 3 or 4 strawberries, and then I used to do a whole banana on his plate, but he doesn't like the texture of grabbing a banana, so I'll just open a banana first thing in the morning, and then I'll just let him take bites of it. Bananas are amazing because they are also brain food, and they're full of potassium and fructose. They are very high in healthy fats. They're antiviral, they're really good for your digestive system. high in carbohydrates, which are also really good for your brain. It depends on what I have in the fridge, but if I have some homemade like banana bread or anything like that, I'll throw that on his plate as well. So this is pure maple syrup, and you will be able to tell by the ingredients just saying organic maple syrup. Check this out. You have 110 calories for 2 tablespoons. So adding that to your baby's food is gonna be so beneficial because it's just extra calories, right? And babies need calories. And then it's got 27 carbohydrates, which are also amazing for your brain and your muscles and your entire body, and 24 grams of sugar. So I don't understand why they add sugar and high fructose corn syrup already to maple syrup, because it's such a rich food item anyways. So it's really sad that they turn it into something that it's not. I'll go into a whole spiel about the difference of healthy sugars and processed sugars later on. But 24 grams of sugar here in this maple syrup is really good because your body needs those sugars. And there's a huge misconception on sugar, so I definitely want to do a video about that later on. This is amazing for you. This isn't usually the one that we use. I'll tag the one below that we usually get from Amazon. I just pour out like a little bit. Depending on the day, I will use a cereal sometimes. I don't do this all the time because unfortunately I have not been able to find something that doesn't have salt in it. These are Cascadian Farms versions of like Cheerios that I really like. They've got whole grain oats, whole grain barley, wheat starch, malted barley extract, sea salt, which I don't really like, but there's not that much sea salt in it. Oats, calcium carbonate, malted barley, vitamin E. Not a bunch of junk in it. Also will help fill my baby's belly, give some extra calories. So I just do like a little bit. He doesn't even eat them all. Another thing that I love to put on here, these are great for traveling, these freeze-dried fruits. They make a mango one that's organic that I love to add to his breakfast. They're kind of expensive, but they are really, really awesome. And they don't have any added preservatives or citric acids or anything in them. They are just the organic ingredient that it is, which is perfect. If you need like fruit for traveling or whatever, these make great car snacks. Also add to a healthy breakfast at a hotel, which I usually bring stuff to make our own homemade oatmeal. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that a different time. But I also add a little bit of maple syrup to the Purely-O's. Oh wow, that was too much at once, but it's fine. So basically there's probably like a tablespoon or a half a tablespoon worth of maple syrup on his plate now, which is awesome because he's getting those extra calories. It's amazing. Maple syrup is amazing brain food. And when I say brain food, our brains are made of sugar, which a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that our brains are protein and fat, but they're actually mostly made of sugar and carbohydrates. So when you eat sugar from like a natural sugar that's not processed from a fruit or a vegetable, you're fueling your brain, you're adding to your glucosamine stores, which is really important. That's what makes you be able to live every day. Someone like me with hypoglycemia has a low glucose store in my brain and my liver. So that's why it's important for me to have lots of fruit and sugar every day. Another thing that I've been adding to his breakfast lately are oranges. The easiest way to serve an orange that I found is roll it around on the counter, because rolling it on the counter helps break up the actual core of the orange, and it makes it a lot easier to peel and slice. So then I roll it around on the counter, I cut it in half, then I will peel the orange just with my hands, like the half. I forgot to roll this one, so it's a little harder to peel. My camera died, so gotta switch to the phone. You break the orange in half, right? And then take your knife and just cut that all in half. And then you peel your slices out. And that's like the easiest way I have learned to slice up an orange small enough for my baby to not choke on it. I give half an orange. He loves oranges right now, which is awesome. Did you know oranges are full of calcium, which is really neat. Sometimes if the skin like does this where it gets like floppy, just take that out because they can choke on that. So you know your baby best, and you can even slice it up like that. So yeah, this is baby's breakfast for today. And I like to put the wild blueberries on the plate first because it allows them to defrost a little bit. And then he's also been working on a banana. This is a great breakfast. It's super easy to do. I also love it too because it's really easy. If you're like traveling or something, you can get a glass airtight storage container and like fill it up with your fruit, whether you're having a beach day, going to a lake, if you need food storage for keeping your produce fresh. I really love these glass containers. I always just put like a paper towel in the bottom and then put my freshly washed produce in. These are almost a week old and they're still perfect. And my strawberries, I also learned that if you put them in an airtight container, it saves them. So the strawberries that I used before, I've had in there for almost a week and they're still amazing. So same with raspberries, and any small fresh berry I'll put into an airtight storage container like this, and I will link those below as well. I'm still breastfeeding, so when my baby wakes up first thing in the morning, I breastfeed him, and then I try and get our breakfast going within an hour or two. I also give him a little bit of my lemon water because lemon water is super hydrating and really good for children as well. And it also is easier to give than just plain water because he really likes lemons, and honey tastes way better than just plain water. And then after my baby's done eating breakfast, I give him a couple drops of Vimergy's tinctures, which I give 2 drops of zinc, 2 drops of lemon balm, 2 drops of liquid B12. He loves to take his supplements. It's really cute. So I just put them directly in his mouth. But if your baby doesn't like to take tinctures, you could add it to their water, to a smoothie. Really, you can mix it into their food later. There are ways around being able to give your baby their vitamins. There's also some mornings where I will add spirulina powder to his strawberries, just like a tiny bit, or if I slice up a banana, I will put them on the banana. But for the most part, I drink a smoothie that I put all of my powders into, and he also shares that smoothie with me later on. He will secondhandly get the spirulina and barley grass and like the extra supplements that I put into my smoothie, and also through my breast milk. Spirulina is something else that you can add into your baby's regimen, which is really good for them. It's got a lot of chlorophyll, iron, it has plant-based protein in it. Like, it comes from algae, so it's not like animal protein. It's not the same as that. It's like actual like viable protein that our bodies and our muscles need. So it's got all sorts of amazing minerals in it that we need. So I'll link everything that I used in this video. Thanks for watching. I don't know what else to say. That's pretty much it. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day.